Hi, my name is Mark. Another parallel project. I will solve some or most of the things regarding to Advent of Code, and hopefully I can show you that I already solved one of the exercises for this particular problem-ish thing, and I will use VS Code not to be 100% afraid of everything. This is one example file with the content of one of the have written examples from day one, and I have one for prod. I called it prod whatever, and the exercise was to count the opening and the closing curly braces, which I kinda did redundantly, but it doesn't matter. We can refactor things. Actually, we will refactor things. Maybe not now, but somewhere along the road. So this is the description of the exercise, and this Advent of Code thing is or has been in the past 5 to 6 years every year. This is just a daily exercise in increasing difficulty, and you can solve them. Those are released day by day around. It's called Advent of Code, so probably around starting December. And I will solve the one from not 2020, but from 2015. Hopefully I can go back to this part. As you can see, I already solved the first, and we can go to the second one. Cool. So here is the lore, the description, what we should do, and there will be a puzzle input, which I will just grab and paste it. I will increase. Yeah, let's create 2 new files. There should be one that I grabbed. I call it to_prod, and I should create 2 tests. It doesn't have to be text or txt files, but this is the way I did. So if it has 2, 3, 4, the result should be 58. So what? Feet of slack. Ooh, we have something going on. Maybe we should read the thing. The elves are running low on wrapping paper, and so they need to submit an order for more. They have a list of the dimensions, length, width, and height of each present, and only want to order exactly as much as they need. Unfortunately, every present is a box, a perfect right rectangular prism, which makes calculating the required wrapping paper for each gift a little easier. Find the surface area of the box, which is 2 times length, width, 2 times width, height, and 2 times height, length. The elves also need a little extra paper for each present, the area of the smallest side. Interesting. For example, yada, we will pick this one because this looks a bit more interesting. We already grabbed the, what is it? The quote-unquote prod one. I am writing Rust code, and I will not refactor things just now, maybe from the 3rd occasion, but as you can see, I already wrote 2 functions. I named those solve first and solve second, and we will see it's a bit bad naming, but shortly we will resolve these things and make a little bit more order. Cool. So let's add a few more things. Actually, Yeah, I will be lazy and just add the functions and the tests here, and later on I can create the modular approach, which, yeah, I mean, we will see. Cool, cool, cool. Picking up these things. So there should be a bit of a change here, and we might realize the pattern. I mean, we should see the pattern later. Maybe we will read these files dynamically, but we will have prod 1 and prod 2 with the prefixes respectively. We've been using the example 1, prod 1, and here as well, and we should be good to go. Oh yeah, I'm writing these things in Rust, by the way, and I already have a repository with these things. Yeah. And I've been reorganizing these things, but I'm mainly writing things in Rust here as well, and probably for not this year, but 2015 backwards as well. So I will just add the two things, I mean the two new functions here, and add the test 2. Or maybe we should start with the test as well. So first test, really bad naming. First, second test, please quote me on that. It should be something like 58. Yep, because we've been adding things to solve. Yeah, whatever. And we can run the test like cargo test. Obviously it will fail because I just wrote some arbitrary things. Solve first, second, first. Looking really good, but we will solve these things later. So there should be a function which called this. It can read some content later. Maybe we will change this to some dynamic structs and such. Oh my god, yeah, GitHub Copilot is here for us to mislead us time to time and or help along the road. So we probably need a number here as well. It should be pretty much the same. Yes, thank you. That's based on the previous exercise. But what we want to achieve is to return with this number. There is a funky little thing called Bacon, which is really handy. We can run our test on file changes. So I will just zoom out a little bit, increase the window here, and I will say back home. Hopefully I'm in a good folder and I can scope to the tests, and things are failing? Question mark. Let's see what's going on. Tests. What? Where am I even? Yeah, should be good. Cargo test maybe. It's working. Bacon should work as well. Go back to the test. It says it is red, but maybe it's just because of the warnings, which makes sense. So we should first of all come back here and make things a little bit more meaningful here. Coming back to the description, we should read this thing, whatever it is, and we should apply things on one line as well. And maybe I will do some mapping and other functional like things as well. Function call q late. wrapper paper needed wrapper paper surface. Oh yeah, it's almost looking like a good Java method name. I32 should be good enough. Let's call it a line, and we should pass around a star reference. And so to extract the lines, I mean the values from these things, we should, yes, do this X thing. So we should do a split on this line, which we can do probably like this, because those are, what is it called? Separated by X. So if you split them up by and fold, yeah. I mean, first of all, let's just collect the numbers, and we will do the calculation after that. So dimensions should be something like this, and we can specify the things, but let's keep it this vector here, and we can do something as well. So first of all, the thing is, we do have this thing, the order is, and actually it should not really matter, but it's this. I will copy and paste. It shouldn't really matter. Yeah, maybe I should put this don't disturb on for 1 hour. Yep. So question, what's going on? We collected the 3 numbers, hopefully, probably. Actually, we can do some poor man's debugging, which is just printing these things. It won't do this, and if I run this thing, it won't do this neither, because I have to say that no capture thing, which I do not remember how to do. We will see. Like this. Maybe this way. Content line. Yeah, we didn't even call this thing. Yeah, we don't have to return with it. If we run this thing, maybe we will see some output. Yeah, no capture doesn't work like this. And let's look up on the internet how to do this. Cargo test, no capture. Maybe it's without the spaces. Oh yeah, it's just no capture. And I absolutely forget how to do this. So yeah, as you can see, it extracted these things, and probably, I mean, those are numbers. Cool. So we should calculate the needed wrapper paper surface with the mathematical expression or requirement that they provided here. So we should area of the smallest side. So we might do one interesting thing. We can do a for loop in a for loop, which is really inefficient, but we are talking about 3 sides, so this shouldn't be really bad. The smallest is, yeah, I will see what. Oh yeah, it makes sense. What GitHub Copilot wants me to do. So Copilot manually created this thing where he started with one of the combination and he went through all of the other two possible thing, and after that he just said please overwrite it if that would be smaller, which makes sense. This doesn't look bad, but yes, it doesn't make too much sense in my opinion to create one variable with 0 and after that add it to 0 and return with it. You can kind of return with it just like that, and yeah, it's that thing. So let's run the tests and we should get back the 58 as a result here. So we should run the second prod with the second example. Yes, naming is really bad here. We have to refactor things. Second prod, and we will say prod 1, and we should calculate it somehow. This is the thing that we have to put in first. So this will be the first part of the second exercise from 2015. I will leave it like that. It will say some gibberish thing to me. If I use the correct method, it will say something else. It said, yeah. So it said, Mark, you're somewhat not smart because you just said you had to do this thing for every line and you didn't do this. So we should calculate the thing not just once. I mean, we cannot do this only for once, but we should do this for every line. So we can say content lines map, and we should add, I mean, we can use a method as a reference, and it will apply this thing on every line. And yeah, let's see what's the result. Looking good. There should be one number some places. So it says you cannot unwrap based on X as a delimiter the two prod. Okay. With these exercises, we can assume that the things are correct. I mean, the provided file, I mean, the content of it should be good. And invalid digit. Okay. Maybe we did not use the correct separator. No, it's looking good. Well then, we should maybe, yeah, we are using it here. Solve first. Yes, sounds good. Maybe we can jump into a debug session with a few added debug points here or there. Yep. So this is the oh no. It looks bad. We did something really wrong. First, this is the second file that we will have to read. So let's rerun everything. Close this window. Yep. Where is Dabacom? Tests 101, whatever. Okay. Then let's run with the no capture. Let's see what's the difference. It's not 232, but this bigger number. So first of all, we should just change it and run it once again to see it's the output multiple times. Hit submit. Yay! That's the correct answer. Yeah, I will commit once. The thing is with this, with these exercises, I mean, with the whole concept of advent of code, that you will probably mess up things, since it was just quote unquote just the first part of a given day, and the second part builds upon the first half of the given day, but time to time in a tricky way. So maybe you have to rewrite things, so it will give you the good or not good, it depends on good experience, how you can write flexible code which should be extensible rather than you have to rewrite everything. Cool. Let's add the first thing. Oh my god, it's looking so bad. Maybe I will not do it here, but rather here. Yeah, added these files and extended this one. Yes. Cool. Add 2015 second day first solution. Yeah. Oh, yep. Let's push it and we can proceed to the second part of this thing. Cool. Continue to part 2 and we will see what's going on. The description says running low on a ribbon, same width, so they only have to worry about the length. They need to order which they would again like to be exact. Cool. The ribbon required to represent is the shortest distance around its sides, or the smallest perimeter of any of face. So we have to calculate not just one element here. So maybe we should not return with one number as a result here, but we should rely on a pair or a tuple or array, whatever we want to return with. So with this 2 times 3 times 4, it should be 10, since yeah. Oh, 2 times 2 plus, no, yeah, I mean 2 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3, yes, plus of ribbon for the bow for a total of 34 feet. So this is somewhat independent from the wrapper paper. I mean, we are working with the same dimensions, but we should do it with these things rather. So we can extend our tests. I mean, we want to be, it will be an interesting word to say here, but backward compatible. We don't want to mess up the wrapper calculations neither. But yeah, we can ditch it because we already provided the number, but I wanted to keep it. Cool. So we should calculate not just this thing, but we should return with something else as well. I mean, I would just say another I32 and with, I don't know, 10. Which one should be the first? This one should be the first, and another one like 10. Easy like that. So we can extract 2 variables here. I mean, to destruct or detuple things. The first one should be the wrapper, and the second should be the ribbon. And first of all, the wrapper should be that much, and expected wrapper, no, no. The other one should be, or we can create this thing here as well, and there should be an expected ribbon, which should be, it was 34. Yep. So the expected ribbon should be the ribbon. Yeah, thank you. Cool. Let's see what's going on with the tests, and it probably will say you cannot I32, you cannot compare those things. What's your issue? Oh, yeah. Here. So I should read the wrapper and should ignore the next thing and rename it to this thing. Yeah, looking good. Rerun the tests. Fails since it is 34 and not 10. Makes sense because I used a hard-coded value here. Cool. How can we use this thing? I mean, how can we calculate this thing? So we should, I mean, we can calculate the ribbon here as well. So needed materials, and we will return with a tuple here as well. Probably I32 will be enough, we will see. We'll put 10 just for measurements, and we should be able to unwrap this thing, since if we sum this thing, oh, and I renamed this, yep, so we cannot sum tuples easy like that, because that's an iterator over an I32 something. Should come here somewhere. Cool. So we should rather extract the first and the second as well. So we might say we want to have a variable here, which should be materials or needed materials, whatever, and we will say map and collect it. Maybe we have to specify the we have to specify what we want to collect it into. It can infer what these values are, and we should just add these things and return with a tuple like this. Everything is syntactically correct. Let's run it once again. Yeah, it will be probably failed due to the error previously, because we still have been using 10 somewhere instead of this 34, but we still did not even specify what this thing is. So instead of this 10, we should do something else. And we should read the thing once again. So we should add the things together plus for the bow. And this thing should be the dimensions, the product and the sum of these things. So we should say length times width times height plus length plus width dot h, and we should run the tests again. And obviously it fails because it's not the correct value. So we are multiplying these things, then adding the others together. So what's going on here? So, oh, no. So 2 times 2. Oh, yeah. So we need the smallest thing. We have to multiply it by 2. Because we want to use the smallest perimeter of the smallest surfaces, and after that we have to create the bow of the ribbon, and we can hopefully do it like this. Cool, not too bad. So let's debug this thing here, or maybe we should just add a few more things here. As far as I know, we can have some destructuring here as well. We will see. So dimensions, and we can specify the rest, something like this. The rest, yes. Struct enum let. We can do this. That's too bad. As slice. Let's see. Well, then we will revert back to the exact matches here. So we need the smallest thing, but not with the multiplication, but with the addition, and it might be different as well. And so we might say here the smallest perimeter should be the same thing, but added and not multiplied. Does it matter? I'm just thinking about the edge cases. I mean, obviously, if you have negative numbers, it might be misleading. But this whole thing, maybe we might just say, I mean, if you multiply things together, maybe those should be only added here. I mean, we will see. Let's see. Should be this thing. And it should be the smallest. And yeah, maybe this thing, we will see. I mean, we can run a lot of tests, no worries. So what is the smallest? It's 2 times 2 plus 3 times, 3 and 3 again. So we should debug. Let's come here and run this thing in debug mode, and we will see what's going on when we get here. Oh, I didn't use even this variable, but we will see. So this is the line. If we are going to the next thing, it will do this yada step to the next thing. Yeah, so this is the vector, and we will calculate it by the smallest. It will try to go through all of the variations, which is not that much because it's 3 numbers and you have to pick 2 of those. I'm not sure if you remember things from the university and actually from high school, but yeah, it's not that much because you have to. It's called, what is it called? I mean, the expression 2 under 3 or something like that. But yeah, it's not that much. It's 3. So the smallest perimeter times 2 should give us back the 2 smallest sides, and we want to go through all of this thing, and we want to create a ribbon. I mean, the bow. It's called a bow for the ribbon. Yeah, and this will be everything added together, and obviously it passed first try. Cool. Unnecessary parentheses here. Yep. Yeah, whatever. Yes. Yeah. I mean, let's give it a go with the prod things. So we should do pretty much the same, but with the prod. Yeah, just call the prod 2 instead of example 2, and we will just give them some numbers. First, second prod. Okay. Oh, it's already here. Okay. So we should use, I mean, we can use a tuple here as well. Expected wrapper expected ribbon, and we will add the value on the right side hand as well. 24. Obviously it won't be 24, but we will compare these things here to the wrapper and to the ribbon, and we will get back one falsy result because it's not 24 but rather this, another number, and we should try this thing out. What could go wrong? Cool. So we reached another star as well. Yeah, so in the next episode probably I will not refactor essentially everything here, but as you can see, we do have 2 tests every single time, and we have 2 phase or 2 solution when one of them is building up on each other. So we will do some mods and structs, and maybe even before jumping on the 3rd exercise. Cool. Another good practice is to commit always. So we added these things. Yada yada. Cool. That's an advent of code. 2015. Second day. Second solution. I wish I could type. Cool. Push that thing and see you in the next one with some heavy refactoring.